لله حمدا والشكر له شكرا أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له أشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. وإحنا رأى الأسكاسي وضعنا كونفرنس كان ينسوا عليه سدة معلومات وحا مانتا إن نقام مقان أو نقع عذر دارتين نحليليه عالمي حاجي marka ana isku dayay maanta booskiisina wax kaga yar balkursiyo conference-ka wuxuu noo soo socday 3 maalmood wuxuu noo marayaa maalintii ugu dambeysay maanta oo uu ka koobnaan doono insha Allah muxaadarada koobaad oo noo geli doono sheekheeni inoogu yimid waddanka Ingiriiska Sheekh Saciid Yuusuf Maxamed oo ku saabsanaan doonta marriage-ka waxa ciwaankeedu yahay Ingiriisiga marriage in 21st century Europe marka uu noqon doona guurka iyo qarnigeenan ku noolahay iyo Europe oo runtii dhibaatooyin badan dadkii maxay ka haystaan waxa insha Allah inoogu xigi doona su'aalihii brief yar amba waxaanu geli doonaa fasax yar kadibna markaynu isku soo noqono insha Allah waxaanu bilaabi doonaa 2 lecture oo ka hadli doona si joogitaanka waddankan maadaama aan ka soo hadlanay history-geeni iyo muxuu ahaa iyo dhibaatooyinkii ka taagan waxaanu ka hadli doonaa sidaynu waddanka u sii joogi lahayn oo inagoo islaama inagoo Soomaaliya inagoo oo niisha dhaqankeeni haysana sidaynu u sii joogi lahayn waxaana inoo geli doonaa walaalkan murshid oo insha Allah ka hadli doona sidaynu Soomaaliga u sii haysan lahayn afkeena Soomaaliga qaaliga ah waxaa inoogu xigi doonaa insha Allah Sheekh Sugule oo isaguna ka hadli doono inagoo islaama sidaynu diinteena waddankan aynu sii haysan aynu sii joogi lahayn taa waxaa inoogu xigta insha Allah waxaa inoogu xiga banalika iskustaragii doodii aynu hore usoo baranay runtii xaraarada lahayd aynu aad looga wada helay waxaan ugu soo gabagabayn doonaa sheeg banaliga iyo su-aalaha iyo jawaabaha ka dhasha imanka markaan hadalkii ugu dheerayn waxaan kusoo dhaweynayaa walaalkeen Saciid Yuusuf Maxamed oo nooga hadli doona guurka iyo qarnigeenan ku jirnayo insha Allah
بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. The topic that we will be covering today is not a very easy topic because it seems very complex since we're going to be looking at marriage, and marriage in itself, there are 3 parts to it, which is before the person gets married and the procedure that is involved in that, and when the person is married as well, and also if it happens that the marriage ends, which is the divorce. So the marriage in itself is a complex topic to cover in one lecture. It'll probably take 3-4 lectures to cover the concept of marriage and marriage itself and what is linked to marriage. Secondly, we're going to be discussing marriage within its context, which is in Europe in the 21st century. Therefore, that entails that we look at the history of Europe, and within the development or the history of Europe, we have the institution of marriage. That might be very hard to cover, but what are the issues that people are facing today? They can never be solved if we do not look back into history and see why we are here today. We can only ask, why are people finding it hard to get married? Why is it hard to find the right person? How do the youth communicate in a way which is halal, which allows them to marry? Secondly, the person might ask questions as, what is the procedure? How do I approach the family? And if the marriage process becomes successful, what are the rights that I have? What rights does the wife have? And what rights do the family have? As Somali people, we also have our own culture. And within our culture is the religion of Islam. And also we have living in Europe, so as a young Muslim who wants to get married, you're dealing with a very hard situation, because you have certain aspects in the Somali culture which might be Islamic and might not be Islamic. And then you have to learn about Islam. And then within that you have to live in Europe. Not only living in Europe, but within the 21st century as well. Because Europe has not always been the same. So when a person gets married quickly, and you find that also these youth, and I've attended I've done some ceremonies, some nikah for some youth, and sooner or later I am told they have divorced. And I remember I went to there was one ceremony that I went to, and I did the nikah, and they were very young, the two people who were getting married, 18, 19, and I warned them, I said, you are very young, you're getting married, but no. So I tried to remind them of their rights and the responsibilities. But soon later, within a year, they were divorced. I've also been to houses. I've sat with women who are complaining about their husbands, and their husbands complaining about their wives. And it can sometimes reach issues that are very secretive. But the reason why the people are informing us is because they want to solve their problem. It's not easy to divorce. And nobody wants to divorce, because that is heartbreaking and it's painful. It's like losing a part of yourself. And on top of that, if children are involved, then the pain will be even more. The worst thing about marriage is that you can never, if the two people have children together, they will never be able to remain completely separate from each other, not have anything to do with each other. You will always be connected with this person through that child. So let's look at, first of all, the change that has taken place in Europe. Then maybe that will help us understand marriage, where we stand as Muslims, or why the youth are going through a struggle, trying to bring together this westernized world that they're living in and their Islamic or their identity, and trying to bridge those two together to live successfully as married couples. So first of all, we need to understand as Europe has gone through many stages, starting from ancient Greek and from the Roman Empire to the Middle Ages to the Renaissance, the Enlightenment, the 17th and 19th century. You had the Industrial Revolution, you had the Soviet Union, which I think was running this country as well. And then you have America, and then you have the EU. So there has been changes in the Western world. Now, within the changes, going through history also, because marriage is an institution within the society, in people's lives. So at the beginning, the Europeans or the Romans or the ancient Greek, for them marriage was not what it is today. Then they would get married. They would get married for arranged alliances. So when a king or a leader wants to have alliance and he wants to have a connection with another country, he will marry his daughter to the king's son, or to the king himself. He will give his daughter, so there is a connection between them. And if you look into history, you always see that. And within the tribal nation, within the people who had tribes, they also understand that. This is how they would make these bridges. And it was a tactic that was used by people who wanted power. And also, some people ask, why did the Prophet ﷺ why did he have so many wives? Probably for the same reason as well, because the Prophet ﷺ married within these tribes. Then everybody became his family, a part of his family. If you look at the 4 Khalifas, you will find they were all related somehow. Either he married their daughters or they married his daughters. So if you look at the Prophet if you look at Abu Bakr, the Prophet ﷺ married Aisha. If you look at Umar, the Prophet ﷺ married Hafsa. If you look at Uthman, if you look at Uthman, Uthman married the daughter of the Prophet ﷺ, which was, who knows? Ruqayya and Kulthum. So the Prophet Uthman married. That's why he was called Dhun Nurayn. He married one. She passed away. Then he married the one after that. And also, if you look at Ali radiallahu anhu, who married Fatima radiallahu anha. Within this, you will find the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam also married for similar reasons, but also know this was a tactic that was planned also by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this was reasons why people married, and it might still happen today. Okay, there's another reason why people married were family ties, where cousins get married, and today within our society happens as well, where they will get married, for example, people who want to preserve their culture, or they don't want their daughters or their cousins to have nobody to marry, so they would marry within their own families. This used to happen in Europe. We're not talking. This might sound like the Somali culture, okay? Somebody bringing the mother says, "I want you to bring my cousin's son, or bring this person is related to you, and so if you bring him, then he'll be able to support the other family or take pressure off me." This happens. This used to happen at the time of the Europeans used to do that as well. And then you had the polygamy, and that was the norm. That was normal, where a man has more than one wife. If you look at Henry VIII in England, he actually had to go against the church at that time to marry another wife. So it was normal, and it was the culture of the European people, of the Romans, to have more than one wife. Polygamy was okay. There was nothing wrong with it. But like we've said, the Europeans have moved on. They've moved on to monogamy, which is to marry only one woman or one wife. So it was the involvement of also the church. But even looking into the Bible and looking to the Torah, this was the common practice of the prophets that they also believe in David. And in some of them, the scriptures, it says he's got how many wives? Thousands of wives. And as we know in our hadith, the Prophet ﷺ told us that Dawood had 100 wives. 100 wives. So there are hadith which also affirm some of the information that they are giving us. So it was not. It is just, if you're looking at the history of the Europe, you will find that they have gone through this. But when the state then became the government, the church had more power, and that's why even Henry VIII, because the church was saying that people should only marry one wife, as death till you part, or they say something, when you marry, even you're not allowed to divorce. That's how it was with the church. But when you marry this person, you're going to stay with this person till you die. Okay? That's why it's a practice that they have. That existed at that time with the church. But then, with the Enlightenment, people were not, that's why they call it Enlightenment. They were in the Dark Ages, and now they want to come out from the Dark Ages. So church was no longer important. And people were looking for ways to move forward. So they were depending on the state. Therefore, people were free from making the church the number one decider in their affairs. So they would marry and they would get divorced. And then later on, until you find that with the Industrial Revolution and with the modern, postmodern or modernity, you find that marriage no longer, it did not become important anymore. It was not important anymore. Then you have the concept of cohabitation, where people live together, and you have children, but you don't have to marry. The church was against this. Till today, if you look at those who are practicing the religion, they say they should not be in intimate relations with the opposite gender until the person marries. So the people would marry then for love. For love, they were marrying for love. I love this person, I want to marry for this person. And then also after that, they moved from some youth, when they watch they watch the internet and they watch YouTube, they think that people are still marrying for love. It's moved on now. Some people are even marrying for the markets or for economy. So they can have another partner or another individual who is also married with them, who's married but is supporting in the house. I can't pay the rent by myself. I can't pay £1,400. But if I have another person who's also working, they're paying half and she's paying half and I'm paying half, we can manage 1,400. So the love has gone through all these different stages with the development of the Europeans. The next stage was that marriage became a partnership. Two partners, two people within the rights that women had. And we know that women at the beginning, they were treated like commodities. And they were sold. And they didn't have any rights. Women were not allowed to even open their bank accounts. Going back a couple of years, in the 60s, 70s. If a woman died, the husband will get some services or insurance to say, now I don't have anybody to look after my children, so I deserve to get some money for that, if his wife died, because now there's nobody to look after my children, so I deserve some money for that or some insurance. So the main role of the woman at that time was to look after the children. But things changed with the Industrial Revolution, people going out and working, and a woman becoming an equal partner with the husband. So this is the partnership. Now in the 21st century, it's gone to another level. Marriage now, it's about, I want to develop myself. I want self-development. Are you going to help me develop? So it's more self-centered. It's about the person. It's based on individualism, where people are only thinking about themselves And there are people who have warned about this. And within their own scholars who are saying that the end of the civilization will be, of the European civilization will be that people will be depending so much on themselves that there will be too much pressure that they will be committing suicide. Because in the societies that they lived in, the person would fit into a position within the workplace. There was a position prepared for him within the workplace. If he wanted to get married, they allocated someone for him to marry already. And it wasn't a problem. When the person, he wouldn't carry too much stress because decisions were made on a collective level and people were not taking all the burden. And if the person lost his job, then he will have a family to fall back on. But within the 21st century, it's all based on individualism. It's based on how could I develop and forward myself. Therefore, the marriage that people get into will be, if you are no longer developing me, then our marriage will not go forward. Not about the children, not about... And if you're only thinking about developing yourself, if you, husband, are going to work, you're getting a degree, you're getting a master's, you're getting a PhD, I'm just sitting at home looking after children, where is my self-development? How could I take myself forward? Why should I be relying on you? Therefore, the woman will be making her own, she would be making her own judgment, her own decisions, and she's always got something to rely on, which is the state. And our state, the English state, the British state, is called a nanny state because they are providing, they give security to the single mothers. And they say you don't need to worry. You have housing, and you have the benefits, and you have support. Therefore, it's not a problem for the man to move from one woman to another woman. There was a guy I spoke to the other day. Sometimes I speak to the homeless people to give them da'wah because they listen. Sometimes they're very humble. So he said to me that I have he said to me I have 5 children. When I told him I have 5 children, he said, yeah, I've got 5 as well. He said, yeah, I've got 5, but I've got 5 with 5 different women. 5 children with 5 different women. This is what he said to me. But when he said to me, I've got 5 children, I was thinking, you got 5 children, how could you be homeless then? Where are the children? So he said, I've got 5 children with 5 different women. He said to me, I know that's bad. And I said, I'm not here to judge you. So what it is that this society allows the person, the man to date and be with other women, have children with different women, and the responsibility, he doesn't really have to take that responsibility, he can walk away. So if we look at the marriage through what's happening in the 21st in Europe, this is where it's gone, the history of marriage in Europe. Now coming to the 21st century, the 21st century in itself, without looking at marriage, it's very complex. We're living in a digital revolution where everything is online. You've got the Facebook, you've got Instagram, and you've got which all the problems that brings and all the benefits, which means people can get married quickly, they can marry different people all around the world. I remember watching something on the news. One person, he wanted to date a woman in China, and he met her over the internet, and he was sleeping in the airport waiting for days and days, and she didn't come. She didn't come, unfortunately. So it's possible for people to, it's like just how we have a global economy, we have global, you can have a marriage from anywhere in the globe. And you have also feminism, where this is on the rise, and a lot of young women think that they can bridge those two together, Islam and feminism. So women have a lot more power, and they have a lot more say. So they can take more power within the management the family. Then you have capitalism, you have atheism, and then you have the role models and the celebrities and the millionaires and their public life and how they show marriage should be. So looking at this in general, you find where do we as Muslims stand in marriage? What is marriage to us as Muslims? Now, if I was to practice Islam, then the Finns or the Finnish would see you as a backward, someone who's living in the desert. Because according to them, you're practicing what they left behind long time ago. أنت متخلف you are behind because we've already come past this. Our church has moved on. Our state has moved on. You guys are stuck in the past. Look at how you dressed. You look like you look like the women in the 19th century. The guys. If you saw how people used to dress before, you would see that they would be wearing clothes that cover them more, and the women would have clothes that cover their body. So according to the Europeans, we are behind. We are behind. Now, what they don't understand is that humans do not change. As human beings, we are social human beings, and the fitrah and the sharia is based on what we as human beings are. You can tamper with the genes and try to, play with people's genes and try to make test tube babies or whatever, but they can never make a fully grown human being. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran what marriage is. Marriage is, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us, first of all, what should be the concept of marriage? The concept of marriage should be a partnership. So according to that, we are with the 21st century. It's a partnership. And if you want to go into, it's like a business. If you want to do business with a person, you have to make sure that this partner has your values and you're heading in the same direction. So the Prophet ﷺ told us from the beginning, make sure your fundamental aim is that religion, and you choose the woman based on her religion, because this is the partnership. The partnership is in deen, in religion. The Prophet ﷺ said, تُنْكَحُ الْمَرْءُ لِأَرْبَعٍ. A woman is married for 4 reasons. لِجَمَالِهَا وَلِحَسَبِهَا وَلِنَسَبِهَا. The Prophet ﷺ told us, وَلِدِينِهَا فَاظْفَرْ بِذَاتِ الدِّينِ تَرِبَتِ يَدَاكَ. The Prophet ﷺ said a woman is married for 4 reasons. She's married for her wealth, or for her beauty, or for her honor, or status, or she's married for her deen. So marry a woman because of her deen. Otherwise, you will have sand in your hand. Meaning, when you just pick up sand, it falls out of your hand. So the number one goal should be that you marry a woman for the sake of her deen. Because then the partnership will work. Because our number one aim, remember the lecture I gave at the beginning, that you have a project. And your project is to reach the akhirah and to be successful. So the first thing I need to know is, are we wearing the same glasses? Are we seeing things in the right way, in the same way? Because my number one aim is deen. Also, the Prophet ﷺ told the Waliul Amr, the one who is giving the hand of the daughter or the sister, the Prophet ﷺ said, إِذَا جَاءَتْ مَنْ تَرْضَوْنَ خُلُقَهُ وَدِينَهُ فَزَوِّجُوهُ. If a person who has good religion and akhlaq, then let him marry your daughter or your sister. Otherwise there will be corruption on the face of this earth. So that means a woman should be marrying, should marry a man because he has, first of all, deen. He has religion. But on top of that, he has akhlaq, manners. And this is very important. So as a person will do partnership with another person, first of all, do you share my values, and can we work together to better ourselves? The woman is like the ground, and the man is carrying the seed. If you understand the concept, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in the Quran, Nisa'ukum harthun lakum, that your women are like your vegetation, where you plant your seed. So this is the concept of marriage. This is the partnership. The husband is the one who has the seed, and the woman is the ground. Okay, she's the one who is going to blossom and become green, and she's going to bring out the fruits. This is the concept of marriage in Islam. Now, if as someone who is planting and who does farming, they would understand this. That it takes, first of all, you have to choose a good land. If you choose a barren land, you choose a land which is dry, a land which is where it's not going to bring any vegetation of fruits, then you're not going to qaswatul qalb. Yani, if the heart is so hard. Sorry, I'm moving from the abstract to the concrete. But if you find the land which is so hard, why would you place your seed in there? It's not going to. Nothing's going to grow from it. So first of all, the woman you're going to marry, she has to be someone that has the qualities. And on the same, why would you as a woman take the seed of a plant which is تَخَيَّرُوا لِنُطْفِكُمْ, as the Prophet ﷺ told us? Why would you want to plant a seed which is going to bring you out maybe a tree with thorns? It's going to just prick you and give you a hard time. It's better you plant a tree with fruits. What I mean is the partnership is like that. Once you plant your seed, you can't say, I want to take it back. No, I want divorce. It's too late. Alas, you have to. It's already gone. It's happened. So some people, they marry for the wrong reason. They marry with the intention to get divorced. That's wrong. Let me try first. If the farmer says, first let me plant my seed, and then I'll see if it's going to grow. No, before that I have to check the land. I have to see if it's good. Because when I planted it, probably if I try to take the seed out, it will be spoiled, and I don't have another. See, this is how we should be seeing marriage. That you first of all, and when the plant mixes with the ground, it's hard to take it out. You'll probably spoil it. So this is how it is. A person should choose the woman he wants to marry carefully beforehand, and the husband also and the wife should also be careful in who they choose to marry. So marriage is a partnership. Is this person going to help you develop, especially in your deen? That's the most important thing. That's before the marriage. Within the marriage, how do we live? But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in the Quran, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and from His signs is that He's made for you wives, or for you spouses from yourselves, so therefore you will find tranquility and peace in them. And He has put between you intimacy, love, and mercy. Intimacy and mercy. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that marriage is not something we should play around with, because it's a sign of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's the reason why a human being is going to be born. This human being will be worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, meaning don't play with marriage, otherwise you will be destroying someone who's going to be born, who is supposed to be worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you're not only playing by making a silly decision, you're playing with an abd's life that will live a life he's going to be far away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because you didn't choose a good mom for him, or you didn't choose a good dad for him. If you choose a good husband, or if you choose a good wife, the job is half done. الدنيا متاع وخير متاعها امرأة صالحة. The Prophet ﷺ said the world is a relaxation, and the best relaxation you could get, it's a woman which is righteous. Meaning, if I marry a woman that is righteous, then half of my work is already done. I don't have to worry about what's happening with my children. When I'm away, she's doing what we agreed on. If you're away from your company, if you have a company, so say if somebody has a company in Somalia, and he has someone who is working on the same values as he has, then he doesn't need to worry about that company, because they have. So if you have a woman is doing the tarbiyah, the way and bringing up the child the same way you want to bring them up, or looking after the house is what you agreed upon, then this is relaxation. But every time if the person leaves his house is worried, then it's a problem. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us this is a sign. And the first thing the person needs in marriage is tranquility. لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهِ. Just like when you go to your house, you want to relax. You want to put on your clothes and relax, your comfortable clothes. But say if the husband is going into his house and he's rubbing off all the messages, and the woman is putting away things she doesn't want him to see, then there's no second, there's no tranquility, there's fear. The husband is coming, there's fear. So when a person gets married, he would settle down. Meaning before he got married, he wasn't settled. He's always worried. So when a person gets married, he's calm. لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهِ السُّكُونَ. So this is how marriage is supposed to be. That would come through communication. You have to be able to communicate. If you cannot communicate properly, then you're just going to think, what is he thinking? What is she thinking? What's she planning? There's going to be no trust. What's he planning to do? They take him to Somalia. When he goes, he's going to get married. There's no trust. You don't know what the wife is doing. She was supposed to be going to, for example, they're traveling, they go, she says, no, I want to go to that place. So you don't know exactly what's going on. If there's no trust, then there's no safety. There's no safety in the house. The wife is afraid that when he comes in, we're going to shout, we're going to argue, and we're going to be saying, she's going to be saying, I want to divorce, and he's going to say, you're divorced. So there's no safety. And then there's no balance in the house. This is not the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has legislated marriage. So there has to be sukoon. So now I'm talking about within the marriage. Then there has to be mawadda. What is mawadda? Mawadda is intimacy. How much time do I have? 5 minutes. Mawadda is intimacy. What is the difference between love and intimacy? Look, they say, I know you love me, but show me. That's what women say. They say, I know you say you love me, but show me. Now, intimacy, mawadda, is the action of love. You could say to your wife, I love you, I love you, I love you a million times. But women, they look at your actions. And the Prophet ﷺ showed us how we can show this intimacy. Okay, and the mawadda. The Prophet ﷺ, when he goes to a house and he's offered one time he was offered some meat, and he took some of that meat and he said, Aisha hasn't seen this meat for a long time, and he takes it for his wife. So he remembered her. They say little things are the most important the little things count. So he took some of this meat for his wife. He would drink from the place where she drank from the cup. This is intimacy. He's looking for where she drank. This is the muwadda, the action. The Prophet ﷺ would race with his wife, and then when she beat him the first time, then she put on some weight. Some women do when they get married, but they're supposed to be looking after themselves. And the Prophet ﷺ raised her the second time and he beat her. And he said, this is this is a comeback, basically. This is a comeback. So this is what the Prophet ﷺ used to do. And when he used to come into his house, he would use the miswak and he would kiss his wife. And before he would leave the house, he would kiss his wife as well. And this was the intimacy the Prophet ﷺ showed through his actions. And how would she know if Muhammad ﷺ is angry with her? She would say, I know you are angry with me, because you would say, the Prophet ﷺ knew when Aisha is angry with him, because Aisha would say, I swear by the Lord of Muhammad ﷺ. But when she would be angry, she would say, I swear by the Lord of Ibrahim. So the Prophet ﷺ knew when she was angry. So intimacy, it's knowing what the person wants before they even speak. It's a communication of the souls, and they say, Al-arwahu junudun mujannada, ma ta'arafa minha i'talafat wa ma tanakara minha ikhtalafat. That's why they say soulmates. You know, soulmates are right in the fact that they say that you'll always be with this person. But do you know that our souls have met? And sometimes a person can sit with a person and they know that they would marry this person because there's just this connection, this special communication. So the Prophet, Aisha would know what the Prophet ﷺ wanted before he would speak. We know that from the example when Abdurrahman comes in and he's using a miswak, and the Prophet ﷺ looks at the miswak and she knows that he wants this miswak, and she gets it for him. So the woman, who's a very intelligent woman, when the husband comes into the house, the food is ready for him, his towel is ready for him, he doesn't even need to ask, the water is. And same as the husband as well. He knows what his wife is thinking and he's prepared. He's brought gifts for her. He knows what she's feeling. This is how marriage is supposed to be. Remember, now Muhammad ﷺ was alive at the time of the Romans. And when the people were in the dark ages, but the Muslims and Muhammad ﷺ was showing us the intimacy that people want today at that time. And so moving on from that, then there has to be rahmah, mercy, which is the commitment and the sympathy and the support. So they say for marriage to be, they say there's a triangle of love. There's intimacy and there's passion and there's commitment. So a lot of people, they just want to get married, but can you commit to this person's circumstances? Are you going to stay with this person even though he's going to do some silly things? He's going to make some silly decisions? Are you going to stay committed to this person because you love this person and you want khair for him and you have mercy towards him and you don't want to hurt them? So there has to be rahmah, which also includes commitment. Even if you get sick, I'm going to still be with you. Even if it means I have to give up some of my own needs and my rights, I'm still going to be with you because there's this love. So what we understand is that there are many problems in marriage today is because people don't understand what marriage is. They don't know how to be committed and to show this intimacy within the marriage. And then also people just want to leave marriage and run away quickly. And also you find that people don't look in the Quran and the Sunnah how to solve their problems. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made marriage one of his signs, and we should make and honor marriage. That's the only way. By honoring marriage, we honor Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well. And also we will be saving our community and we'll be staying away from the other alternatives, which is zina, fornicating, adultery, girlfriends and boyfriend relationships, which causes chaos and damages the children. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. This is how we have to inshallah be and act upon this ayah. Barakallahu fiik.
وكم هاتين ولكن شخص عيد وحن رجال إن إلهي نقدر المسألة كحسناتك إننا نقدر نقول وأنا قاطع شخص عيد وحن ممكن نقول دونا إن شاء الله سؤاله يا شبابي كدنا بريك بين وحين دونا سؤال شكوى أنا إن شاء الله إذا ما دونا أنت كرنا وحن قطع دونا هذه معاشرة بدونها وحن شلي لكرمي من دار يرى كشقية ميلان دليرت لو هيو مركزه wuxuu iga sheekeeyay niman dhalinyaro Soomaaliyeed oo runtii iska dhibaysan hay'ad dadka masaajidka ku xirnayna wuxuu iga sheekeeyay waxaan arkay buu yiri niman lacag ay soo xadeen oo qof kala baxeen hay'ad jeebkiisa ku raadinaya hilib xalaal wuxuu la wareegaya magaalada la wareegaya hilib xalaal u raadinaya marka waxaad moodaa inay dhalinyartii tarbiyad badan runtii u baahan tahay waxaad moodaa waddankan imikaanu joogno inuu ka bilaabmay isku in laga soo baxo oo imika la sameeyo koorsyo loo sameeyo marriageka oo laga soo qaato certificate ma leedihiin ingiriiska
ma la sameeyo
waa imikaad moodaa inay kasoo bilaabo sanadka insha allah
bismillah horta كل واحد بدن ودمada Yurub ma kala duwana courses hada anu ogahay lama sameeyno la way jira laakiin dad sawaajka guurka ka hadla xooga saara inta badan YouTube ka ayaad ku arkaysaa iyo Facebook laakiin ma garanayo in iyagu xaqii dhalinyarada wuxuu u baahan yihiin in lagala hadlo si cilmiyaysan lagala hadlo qaab u dhigma iyagu si iskuulada wax ugu soo dhigtaan iyo jaamacadaha in wax looga dhaadhiciyo maan arkin inta badan waxa uu badan yahay si wax practical loo tusayo marka way ficnaan lahayd masaajidaha labada qof intaanay iskuulsan ama sheekha inuu ku yiraahdo waxaan rabaa one day seminar ama ladis muxaadaro yar la idin sameeyo ama dadka مثلا bisha guursaday in la isku keeno way ficnaan lahayd laakiin wali ingiriiska inta ka ogahay ama ma garanay course oo dadka masaajid ugu talagalay qofkii shahaado siiyaan inay u sameeyaan course ma arkin
insha Allah waxaan rajaynayaa future training course-ka soo bixi doona certificate la isku siin doono inaan tanamka isku sanay labada shaqo la weydiin doono inta ugu guurka insha Allah su'aalo waxaan ugu gudbi doonaa xaalada
waxaan ku dari lahaa waxa ka fiicnaan lahayd in manaahijta lagu soo daro dhalinyarada youthka markay yihiin taqriiban 15 in loo sameeyo courses concept of marriage in Islam iyo Islamic finance labada in insha Allah loo dhigo oo taani gaarinba 17 18 laakiin 15 16 marka malcamada مثلا ay si dhamaanayaan in courseska qof kasta uu qaato marka inaan lala sugin ba markuu guursado ka hor tasawirada waa loogu dhigaa waxay la socotaa مثلا I think family ga laga hadlayo already way soo dhigtaan iyagoo ku jira I think high school way dhigtaan
bismillah inshallah waxaan doonayaa ka hadlo markii qurbaha la yimi dadkii Soomaalida ahaa dadkii soo yimi laakiin hadda waxaad moodaa halkan la yimi runtii meesha ka yimaado ka duwanta anaga shaqsiga ninbu inaadeertii guursan jiray ama qof garanayo ama qof isku leeyahay laakiin isla laga yimi dad badan oo Soomaaliya wali ku xaqsan tahay ani reer hebel guursan jiray marka runtii waxaan daadanay qofkii soo diintii garanaya dhaqankii Soomaalida garanaya laakiin hadda Nigeria guursata ama Afrika biyaano una ayaa laakiin yana marka tira qof Soomaaliya waa qof Soomaali guursan ani adigu aan reerkiisa ka badan xoogaa inuu qeyra marka uu qeyra dadka yaa oo ay soo saari carruurtii yani waqtiga soo bixi karay soo qaaday bigo ka sheekh maxaad ku tagan
kolley waxa fiicnaan lahayd dhalinyaradu inta badan waxay ku khaldan yihiin sidaan sheegnay waxaa jira guurka wuxuu u baahan yahay marka labada qof baa laga yaabaa inay iska helaan muuqaal ahaan jaceylkiina oo laga yaabaa isleeyihin wuu imanaya laakiin waxaan imanin commitment labada qof may iskursan karaan oo commitment mu imanaya marka haddaan commitmentkii iyo irtisaamkii labada qof inay suurtagal tahay aanay iskursanayn waxaa soo haraysa oo shahwadii markaa iyo xumaanta sinadii in lagu dhaco marka qofka caqliga leh marka hore waa inuu مثلا hadduu arko gabadh aan suurtagal ahaynba inay hooyo u noqoto carruurtiisa inuu ka fakaro maaha inuu guursado ta ka horeysa waxa weeyaan gabadh qofku intaanu hadduu og yahay inaan laga ogolaanayn maxaa ku kalifay marka hore inuu la sheekaysto taas waa mid weeyaan ta labaad markii hore waxaa loo soo mari jiray reerkaa loo soo mari jiray waxaa laga yaaba qofka markuu u arko inaan qurux badan markaa reerkeeda uu soo ogaado markaa reer ka war doono markaa weli uu soo mari jiray laakiin hadda waxaa horeysa inanta marka lala sheekaysto sheekada la dheeraato labadii qof isjeclaadaan markuu israahdo guursan loo diido marka kolley aan dhalinyarada waxaan kula taliyaa marka horeba bal iska soo ogow ama walaalaheed ama qof in suurtagal inay tahayba because reerku xaq bay u leeyihiin sharciyan san anugu arko intaan isguursan inuu aabiyu ku dhahdo ama qofkaas oo kale culamadan way ka hadlaan alkuf walkafaa inuu yidhahdo aabaha aniga waxaan rabaa dadkaasanu ma ogolaanayo maalan anu qof ajnabiya ma rabo qof soomaaliya laakiin waxa laga hadday dhacdona aabihii markaa maslaxadda waa inuu eego xataa hadduu jid waxa laga mashaayikhdii iyo sida culamada fatwada inay isku guuriyaan laakiin qofka inanta ama inanka rabo waalidkii inuu raali geliyo marka horeba qof aabaha iyo hooyada aanay raali ka ahaynta inaad keentidba maaha because waxaad ku dhacaysaa waxaa laga yaabaa xuquuq lwaalideyn marka qofku wuxuu u baahan yahay inuu kolley xikmada ka maqan dhalinyarada laakiin sidii waalidkii loo qancin lahaa iyo looga dhaadhicin lahaa hadday qabiil tahayna arrintu way kasii daran tahay ba adag si loo xaliyo si arrin mahaysto maalan hadday tahay shaqadii wadanka hadday tahay guurkii meel kasta way saameynaysaa marka qofka inuu iska fogeeyo fitanka iyo reerka inay isku dhacaan ayaa marka hore ka qurxina
ayan su-aalaha dhanka dumarka gabdhaha dumarka gabdhaha asaasan wax su-aalaha intaas ku soo ekaana
بسم الله والحمد لله الشيخ سعيد إلهي أباركي محاضرات قيمة بدن ونسو جيدي أنا وحان شيخ ويدين لها ما دام جوركا دليرada وهذا أد أسوأ بدنيو على بدن كسرنا ونقطي وفرين بدن هذا تركهم كل سوق بناء وبدنيه هي وحلقيها بدنيرada مركه هراء سنة داي صوت المانتي جعل بدن iyo barnaamijka iska helis badan in barnaamijku uu ku fududaado laakiin mas'uuliyadii gudaha markii loo gudbo qofkii in noloshooda la qaybsanayo iyo waxyaabo badan inuu ka tanaasulo laga yaabo inay xitaa mararka qaarkood la isku qabto asagoo saaxiibadii qancinayo ka yar cabsanayo inuu maanta ballamihii saaxiibadii uu ka qaybgeli waayo gabadhu ay rabtay in lala joogo arrimaha marka dhalinyarada maxaa lagula talin karaa oo qofku inuu ogaado waaqica uu u gudbay oo dhallinyaranimadii waqti badnaa oo asaga u khaaska ahaa lala qaybsan doono waxyaabaha
waxataa maxaa leeyahay markaan diyaarinayna jadwalkan baa walaalaha kamid ah wuxuu yidhi marriage in laga hadlo maaha inaana furniinka baan ka dhigno marka waa furniinku waa batay waa dhib jira taaba waxaan ku xoojinaya walaalkay maxamed cabdallah wiil
insha allah jazakum allah khayr insha allah النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم حديث يقول لا يفرق مؤمن مؤمنة إن رضي منها خلقا إن كره منها خلقا رضي منها آخر النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول نك الله ضيا أما مؤمن كأولي نين مسلمة مؤمنة إنه كبر كتر معها هتوك أركي وحى وديبصده وحن بس hadduu dhinaca lagu arki doonaa sifo kale ama wax kale uu ku qanco marka qof dhammaystira ma jiro caalamka wadan dhammaystira ma jiro qofka waxaa laga yaabaa inuu wax ku fiican yahay waxna uu ku xun yahay waxaa laga yaabaa dadba hadda maanta waa laga sheekeynayay qof baa gabadh guursatay matalan nin loo guuriyey ninkii markaa ay kala tageen qof kale nin kale ay guursatay oo meel kale ninkii haddana isaga ay ku qanci weyday marka waxa weeyaan nicmada waxay yidhahdaan Englishka the grass is always green on the other side markasta qofku waxay dadka kala haystaan baa la qurux badan marka qof dhammaystiran ma jiro dumar badan baad arkaysa rag badan baa arkaysa alla wallahi gabadhayda waxaasay ku fiicnayd alla wallahi si hadda waa lagu murugoonayaa talaaqana waxa way adagtay lagama soo noqon karo hadduu dhaco xataa tankixa zawjan ghayra marka way adagsa loo soo noqdo marka qofka inuu aada uga fiirsado qofka inuu eego wanaagga gabadha ay leedahay gabadhana waxa weeyaan inay wanaagga ay eegto ninka uu leeyahay iyo positive sideska in la eego ninkana inuu gabadha dhowro النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وحول الله رفقا بالقوارير أظن ودي بريء هذا دمر كواحد بقى يشتري هودج for the caravans like queens so حب قاضي ولا عرفنا كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول آية وصعة واحد سدان قرارة مركا قبل هو قرارة أو كلا قوارير حكمة بدن بكون شفت حديث كاس وحوين قبلنا هذا مرة وعديد قلبي كذا دواعي وقرارة ويتشويسا قرارة اللي سكوا عليه وعدت وحنا كنت سيسالين عقله عدد اكتد حكمة يرول كلا جرب قبلنا قرارة مرة الله materials كلا وحياة بدن بكفي عنها حاجة preservation بلاستيك ما في عنا metal كما في عنا قرارات هذا كل أركيسان bottles بيها واحد كوسر شو قرارات سوحة هذا البلاستيك من روس بقلي بيها لكن قرارات أساس معها مركا قرارات واحد وقتها هي أنا يكون في عامتي أنا وحي على حفظ كبرت أنا مركا حفظي أنا وحي على الصو يكون في عامتي عرتي أنا إلى الصو طلبات قرارات وأنا أركينا وحويان قف ولا ده أركيا وحكوشرا مركا حجاب كبرنا وحليلي حجاب حلو قرارة ولا أسطرة مركا حكمة بدن بكوشرتا حديثك رك بدن وحلقيا وكبرنا إلى كل هذا الدعوان ولقي إلاون نين كان وحوين حكمة إن أنا قصة عن إنه كبرتي وأنا جيد ودن إلاو وساكتو حاروتيان ويجد مركا وحلو بهين لبض قفبة inay isku dhib inay istul qaataan oo dhinacyo badan ay wax ka eegaan intay go'aan gaari lahayn carruurtii iyo wixii ka dhalanaya barakallahu fiik
bismillah assalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh waxaan rabay hawaryarkaan yacnaha kan ka sheego waxa tala uun bay la tahay inay tahay inta badan dhalinyaradu horta waxa lagu farxo wanaagsan ma sha Allah inay ku degdegaan guurka wax wanaagsan lagu degdegana waa wax wanaagsan ma sha Allah wala way fiican tahay yacnaha in laga fiirsado marka waxaan ku tarin lahaa walidahan in may haboon tahay mase hore loo sameeyay kale anigu maanan aragay dhalinyaradu intaysan isguursanin fadhi hore culimada iyo ehelkay dadka waaweyn ama wixii yacnaha yaqaana ama ahkaamta guurta yacnaha ma lagala fadhiistaa oo culimadu ma u bandhigtaa marka hore wiilka xuquuqda isaga waajibaysa oo laga rabo intaan meher la soo yacnaha meher loo fadhiisanin ka hor xuquuqda ka dhalanaysa guurka dhalinyarada ma looga waramaa oo wiilka ma loo sheegaa xuquuqda guurka yacnaha ka dhalanaysa ama gabadha iyada xaqa lagu leeyahay iyo wiilka waxa dul saarmaya ilaahayna waa tuu yidhi arrijaalu qawaamuun yacnaha ilaahay ninka wuxuu dhowyahay yacnaha inuu ka adag yahay qofta dumarkaa carruurta iyo dumarkana isagu inuu mas-uul weyn ka noqon doono haddii ilaahayna kula xisaabtami doono marka waxaa muhiima marka hore in wiilasha loo sheego la yidhaahdo welibana dadkeena soomaalida inta badan la yidhaahdo gabadha hadday taajiro tahay horta iyadaa taajira adigay kugu leedahay waxa la waxay u baahan tahay oo dhan xoolahaas haddii iyadu ku ogolaato maasha Allah islaamku muusan diidin laakiin marka hore yuusan marka hore inuu ogaada u fiican isaga yacnaha mas-uuliyaddan ilaahay aada ku saaray gabadhan intay gacantaada soo gashay akhlaaqdeeda diinteeda waxbarashadeeda xijaabkeeda iyo diinta yacnaha nolosheedao dhan hadduu ilaahay mas-uul kaaga dhigay cunuga imaadana sidoo kale hadduu ilaahay mas-uul kaaga dhigay marka is-adkee oo saas iyo saas buu ilaahay ku yidhiye reerka ha ku tumanin yacnaha dumarkii ragga ilaahay muusan simine marka gabadhuna inta badanna gabdhaha Soomaalidu xaqiiqadii sidaan u aragno waa dad يعني dhaqanka ku fiican haddii ay helaan rijaalku ilaahay sheegay. Assalaamu calaykum waraxmatullahi wabarakaatu.
su-aashu yaro dheer laakiin
comment loo qodneen waxay dun maxay carruurta ma laga horeysiiyaa intaan inteen iskuulsay war maxay sheekada mala hadlaan oo
horta waxaa jirta waxay yidhahdaan in kunta laa tadri fatilka musiibatun wain kunta laa tadri annaka laa tadri falmusiibatu acdamu. waxay qofka haddaanu garanayn waa musiibo, haddaanu garanayn inaanu cilmiga aanu lahaynna waa musiibad way kasii darantay. marka iyagoon garanayn haddana cilmigii kulley ma ogaba dee inuu ubaahan yahay cilmi, inuu cilmi ka maqan yahay oo inuu ka helayo axaadiid iyo sunnada nebi sala allahu alay wasalam wax badan oo u sheegaya uu kaga badbaadi lahaa dhibaatooyin badan. ta labaad waxaad ogaataan hadda waxa soo batay dumar badan oo ragga aada u dhiba ayaa soo batay. kolley anigu markaan research sameeyey waxaan arkay maraba dumarka inaan eedeeyo, laakiin mithaal baa jira oo ay yidhaahdaan Englishka in the sheep's clothing waxa weeyaan I don't know waxa mathalan waa wolf soo xidhay sheepkii dusha iska soo ekeysay sheep. marka gabadhu waxa weeyaan kayd bay samayn kartaa iyo waxa laga yaabo qofka ninka inuu qarxo markii uu talaaq ku hadlo. gabadhana waxa weeyaan lama moodiyaba inay tahay qof garanaysa dambi sameeyey. qisad waxaan ku aragnay qisad Yuusuf nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam quraanka ilaahay noo sheegay in kayda kuna cadim. marka gabadhu kayd bay leedahay, waxaa laga yaabaa ninka inay gebigiisaba ay kala rogto waasho waxba kala ogeyn meel ay wax ka imanayaan inaan ogeyn wax garanay gabadha ku dhahdo waad furan tahay. marka ta ugu horeysaba ninka waa inuu gabadha madaxeeda uu saa u qabto u dhahdo sideen allahumma inni as'aluka khayraha iyo ducaa jirtaba halkaa la qabanayaba. planning wuxuu ka yimaado bay dhahdaan halkaa maskaxda. marka qof waxa la markuu qofka gaari soo iibsado iyo markuu gabadh guursado ama daabo soo iibsado halkaa waa inuu qabto. marka horeba waa inuu duca akhriyo. ya gabadhana marmar waxa laga yaabaa inay u baahan tahay qof qabta. الرجال قوامون على النساء بما فضل الله بعضهم. marka qawaamadii waxa laga yaabaa gabadhii inaanay ogolayn. marka muxuu qaban karaa? ya shariicadii looma ogola inuu toos u raaco. dadkii waxa laga yaabaa inaan waxba loo sheegin. Soomaalidu waxay dhaqan noqotay in labada qof inaanay sheekh u iman ay warkaan sheekh sirta inuu sheegaan inay عيب تحيي الشيخ الله جاي أبغى مدد كي وصي شو الشيخ اللي عاملين أنا قاعد ضد باكستان أي مادة وقريها نقطها لو وقفت أنت يصاف وحياة حتى قصة بس سر يلا هالله وحسود دينا نحلنا لكن قف الصومالي مادة ما نأكل مركز سوري والقدر روان بين الله سبحانه الله مركا وحويان ضمر كنا وين إلهك بقدام جوار يدا يسبق يعني حقوقي إلهي وصار واحد بدل لقى مرة الصلاة كنت كذا أضيعه ضاعنا نهرت كما وح لقى ربعين النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول لو أمرت أن تسجد أحد لو أمرت أحد أن يسجد لا أحد لأمرت الزوجة أن تسجد لزوجها كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم هذا أمر لها قف إنه قف كله السجود كبردا أمر لها يعني نيك له السجود مرة واحد بتسيسا حاجة يقارسنتها مرة قف نقول لما أمر يقف له السجود لكن واحد تمرك كم مكان ضاعدي أنا يدو دب السوق وقتها هذا والله إن كان واحد بدن بو أركيا هذه هل كانوا بدركي ساير دلالك يقروح ذي لكن سبوا مال فوق بكفكرية ومستقبل بكفكرية مرة يعني إلهي ومسلمان بدو مركا إلي مال فوق وحكا إيجان هذا الديدان إلى هذا ما إله ولوس مين وحليه يعني دور ده مالك شو لكن إن لس قفص البوزيشن كيس إن لس قعوي ويتر النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أمهات المؤمنين إن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لا تلنشرين marka taas midii laakiin gabadha caadifadii baa qaadaysa iyo makaraysa waxyaabo badan ay ka fakarayso oo ay hormarinayso aqliga ayaa keenay marka inuu marmar u noqdo go'aankeeda go'aan adoo iska yarad xagga adduunka u badan marka taqwada ilaahay waa loo baahan yahay gabadhan waa inay ogaato markay ninkeeda adeecayso ilaahay bay ugu dhawaanaysaa ilaahay baa kala xisaabtamaya marka waa inay cibaado ka dhigto ay tiraahdo ninkan waxaan u adeecay bis ilaahay baan ugu dhawaanaya maaha ninkan dartiisa inaan adeeco laakiin ilaahay baan adeecay tabaarak allah fiikum
waxaan gelaynaa sheekh su-aashii ugu dambeysay oo hada keena doonta doctor
سؤال شيخ مصعفة واحد بينام عن كيف تديرين سوجي شيء كبرين كذا خويت هذا شيء اللي حيقولني شيء نوع شعر بالنادو أمر الماضي حكرت والدكم كان يرد إنسان يسكوسن مقدماته أقوال مالسية أنا وحيرتها أنت في آدي متهاي مراكز تقول إنه تركز هذا اللي يرد إنسان يسكوسن inay helaan waxa ka ratibaya guurka furinku waa badan yahay asbaabta furinku waxyaalaha keena marka aad la isweydiiyana waxaa laga yaabaa wax micno badan aan lahayn inay tahay ama ogaan sharaan qofku marka uu guurkuna ku yimid si yar oo iska fudud oo rabitaanka hadda shaqo ka oranaya laakiin aan ku dhisnayn maxaa xuquuqaada maxaa waajibaada maxaa mas-uuliyaada qofkan kori doona ama ninka ha noqdo wiilka ama gabadha ha noqdeen waxay la tahay marka inay aad muhiim u tahay culummada iyo waalidiintu inay iska kaashadaan gaarna culummada ay qabanqaabiyaan koorsooyin gaagaaban oo xilliyaal ah loo diyaariyo dhalinyarada weliba kuwa uu ku jiro damaca guurku ama kuwa dhawaan isguursaday in loo diyaariyo oo hadda goor waa ku malaynaya in mararka qaarkood la sameeyey marka kuwaas in la joogteeyo maadaama guurku maradi u badan yahay arrintaas ay gabadha suaasan aan adkeyn lahaa internetka iskama gurweyna waa iska hela internetka gabdhahayaga iyo wiilashadu intaa soo dhaamaan maraakista imaanaya oo rasadaha ka dhacaan oo waalidkii soo marayo oo culimadii soo marayo markay soo helaan kadib laakiin markay soo helaan iyo markii inta ka horeysa laga waryaay waxay u baahan yihin in loo diyaariyo tacaariiftaas dhalinyarada in loo diyaariyo mas-uuliyad anagana saaran ka waalidiin ahaan iyo ka culimo ahaan bay anaga tahay
sheekh sugulo maqlayo hormaanaya sheekh sugulo aad u dhigi doona بريجن قريب إن شاء الله.
إن شاء الله جزاهم الله خير دكتور عبد الشيد أيها المريض إنتاس أنت ربي جواد الزباد محكاة الشوا حقه وليبو حنقول رأسنا هاي قبله كانت وضوء كسبه وهذا عشرة مركز لديجا محاضرات كم مركز لديجا أيها أوبر ليش إنه بدل ما هيو مركز ليش أنا بدو علم إن إله سبحانه وتعالى مسؤوليته وصاره إلا دون بدنا ليش كتب هذا أنت بدنا هذا لكن إن شاء الله ودلالنا ولما جبت قف انتو نوي من هرتي يري وحنو باهنا كورس تا في عاد لكن هذا كورس يا عبد الولي وان مقلا بريغا سريغا مسافر باجرين لكن كورس ادو قيمه بدن سيده لا شيغاي oo waxa la qaatay dad si gaar ah uga qayb qaateen waa soo celinayna insha Allah koorsada noocaas oo kala ah oo dadaalayna billaah kariim bal hooyooyinka iyo aabayaasha wiilasha dhalana wiilasha si gaar ah loola soo hadlo taasna maaragtaa lagu daro insha Allah
هي لو ما تسين ولكن شيخ محمد سعيد وحنا كده دورنا